welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 Hallow. I don't know how the rest of that goes.
Well, I think it's just that.
That's it. That's all it is. Yay! Favorite holiday. Favorite holiday. Favorite month. Favorite month. I'm so happy it's October.
I was going to say, we're not at Halloween just yet, but we're getting
there. It's all Halloween. It is not just a day. It is a lifestyle.
And we already have our gimmicks up.
Yes, we do. We got to put more shit up. I can't wait.
We got more gimmicks to go up, but we got a gargoyle, which we named Cambridge.
Yes.
And
we did that because in the TV show Gargoyles / I believe in the comic book, what they did was the gargoyles chose names for themselves based on the neighborhoods and the boroughs of Manhattan. So we, having lived in Boston, we decided to go with that and just pick a neighborhood in Boston. So we picked Cambridge.
Agreed.
Which is a good name for a gargoyle.
You didn't call him Quincy.
Nah. Jamaica Plain's just too long.
Jamaica Plain.
Back Bay is not a very good name. Alston. Cambridge is better.
Southie.
Yeah.
Southie the gargoyle? Nah.
Charlestown.
Oh man, Ben Affleck, aka Gargoyle.
This is the North End. It's the gargoyle.
Just a gargoyle eating a cannoli.
Just shove a cannoli in his mouth.
So and also just want to give a shout out to any of you folks that stuck around last week. We were unable to produce a full show last week. Things have just been crazy here on our end, just sorting things out. And we do apologize for throwing something in that's not comic book related, but I did not want to let the feed run dormant. So we threw in an episode of I Could Talk Kayfabe, which is the show that I do with Joe Todaro, where we talk about wrestling. And if hopefully you stuck around and you checked it out. If not, I understand wrestling's not for everybody, but hopefully you had a chance to give it a listen and you will follow it. And we promise we will be more diligent in doing episodes for that show for the folks that do actually check out that podcast, because since we moved to Denver, Joe's still in LA and we're just trying to figure things out and kind of retool things, but we're gonna get back on track. But I wanted you guys to check it out and didn't want the feed to go dormant, so there you guys go. But thank you for your patience. That's something that me and Judd appreciate.
Yes.
So one thing we didn't get a chance to talk about in our previous episode, because it happened like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the day that you talked about it is the day that you showed me that Henry Cavill Instagram post.
Yes.
Is the day that I found out. I found out after we finished taping. And then we're reading more about Henry Cavill not being Superman anymore, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're confused, I guess, about this, because it's something where he might still be Superman. I don't think they want to not say he's Superman,
right?
But at the same time, he's not going to be Superman,
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
And it's a bummer because this is the thing about the Marvel. Okay, Marvel's only done it a handful of times. Obviously, Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard, that whole thing.
Uh-huh.
With regard to, Superman and some of these characters, I feel like they just feel like they could switch them around a lot in the DCU.
Sure.
And it's kind of a bummer, just because I kind of like just having continuity in my characters.
Honestly, at this point, I will just take a good movie.
Well, that's the thing. They need to do good movies. So we're hoping to see that at some point. But I guess the big reason is, the reason is Henry Cavill couldn't come to some sort of contractual agreement. They wanted him to appear in Shazam, and I don't think he was able to, because I guess he's an actor. He's doing a lot of stuff. Apparently he's going to be starring in some Witcher video games show.
Yeah, on
about the Netflix
or something, yeah.
Which I've never played, but I've seen a lot of. It's kind of like that show Salem you used to watch.
Oh god, that show was so bad.
But it was
I kept wanting it to be good, but it never was.
Yeah, but it's like an adult thing of it. So what it is that there was a contractual thing, but what they were saying was, and I don't know if there's anything different.
Well, because they want to now like put Supergirl like in a bigger part. And they're like, well, technically, Supergirl's older than Superman, so we need a younger actor. And you're like, that's not how it works. Because yes, technically Supergirl is younger than Superman, but she didn't get to Earth until he had already become an adult.
Right.
So she was still a teenager because she had been in suspended animation.
Uh-huh.
So he was a full-grown man when she got here.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why does Henry Cavill have to be younger? Because he's only 30. So...
What, in real life?
I think so. He's not very old. Maybe
he's our age.
No, he's not. No, he's younger than us.
Are you sure?
He's absolutely positive, yes. Because I remember... All right, quick story. So I remember when The Count of Monte Cristo came out, which is a fucking great movie, by the way, because it's all about revenge, and it's a great movie. He played Jim Caviezel's son in that movie. And I think that came out in like 98.
98, yeah.
Okay? I remember watching it with my sister and our friend Susie, and they were losing their shit over Henry Cavill, right? Because they were like, oh my God, that guy's so fucking hot. Look at that kid. But I was like, that kid's not 18. Therefore, I cannot think that kid is hot because gross. And then not until he was much older.
Are you looking up how old he is?
Yes, because he's not our age. He's younger than we are.
He's not a good old 38?
Yeah, he's my sister's age, Brian's age. He was born in 1983.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. See, I always thought, for some reason, I thought he was our age.
No, I knew he was younger than we are.
Well, whatever. I don't know.
Whatever. And then, like, I was reading something on the AV Club because we have some pictures were just released of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
In that, like, weird Joker origin movie.
Okay.
Where he's supposed to be, like, a comedian or whatever. So there was that. But apparently after that happened... Then there was like, oh, hey, don't forget that Joker and Harley movie.
What?
With Jared Leto as Joker and Margot Robbie as Harley. Hey, that's still a thing, guys.
How is that going to be a thing?
They're both in production at the same time or something.
But I don't...
But that's what they... So the AV Club had this article where they were talking about like... how they're going to have like the DCEU, but then they're also going to have like another label. Like it's going to fall under, it hasn't been named yet, but it's going to be like another thing where it's like
DCPU.
Probably.
Nailed it. I fucking nailed it.
Where it's going to be like, you can have these, it's basically an Elseworlds label. Where you can have these like other stories and things that don't tie into the main.
But that's not how you do that in movies. I don't know. Me personally, you could do that in comic books because it's clearly something you can see when you go to the store. And like, if you're like, hey, this is an Elseworlds book. Here's a fucking Elseworlds logo.
Right.
And granted, you could do that in movies too. But at the same time, it's like when you're like, hey, Joker and Harley, and then there's also the Joker, and I'm like, we just saw the Joker, or we just saw Joker in something.
For me, I'm just like. Just make a good movie.
Sure.
Like, DC's had so many misses. They had Wonder Woman. That was it.
Wonder Woman was fun.
Everything else is.
I haven't watched that movie again. I feel like it's because it's on HBO.
Well, we should watch it again.
I feel like it's due for a rewatch.
That'd be nice.
Because I'm looking forward to just seeing more about it.
I'm like, I really don't care. You know, first off, I don't want a Joker backstory. Ever.
No.
That's me personally. I never want a Joker backstory, and I never want a movie about Joker and Harley's relationship because it is fucked up and abusive and disgusting. I don't want those things.
The end.
So for me, none of these movies look fun.
Nah, man.
Yeah, nah, man, that ain't me. So I'm just like, okay, how about we don't focus on them? Like, you could have given, I don't know, pick a minor DC character. You could have given him a really cool origin movie.
Yeah, I don't understand
it could have been like, here's Red Tornado's origin.
What Red Tornado's like? He was built.
I know, but I mean, like,
I'm just
picking a character.
It'd be kind of
here's Blue Beetle.
Right, exactly. Blue Beetle, or
this is Booster Gold.
Booster Gold could be a lot of fun.
That could be tons of fun.
He's saying he's out there.
Yeah.
You know, he's.
I mean,
out.
you've got your cool Shazam movie. At
You
least
could do some Hawkman
cool.
shit. You want to do some Hawkman shit?
Oh,
do some
yeah.
Hawkman
I mean,
shit.
if you want to do some weird shit, do some Hawkman
Do
shit.
some Hawkman shit.
That'd be fun.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like your resources could be better utilized.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think that they don't see it like Marvel does because they're just like DC's just so desperate to just have good movies based on the big characters so people will actually go see them. And Marvel doesn't, Marvel's got it where they were able to work with lesser characters and get people behind them with good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, as people say, it's like, Iron Man, I mean, now Iron Man's a big deal.
Sure.
He's always been a big deal, technically, if you read comics, but to the general populace, that he's not like he was never like a big player, because you always thought like X-Men, you always thought Captain America,
Sure.
Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not even Captain America, like once you get past like Wolverine, Spider-Man, and I guess Hulk, like, there's, you kind of, you're going down a little bit of a tier, even though they're not, I mean, they're heavy hitters, you're still going down just a slight tier.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvel was just like, well, fuck it. We'll just take, all these guys and we'll make good movies based around them. And you got these fucking characters that are just larger than life and people are just obsessed with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you took like a character who Black Panther's been a supporting character at best, was, at least as far as my comic reading.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten to the point where I've read a lot of comic books about Black Panther, and just, him being the main character and stuff. Like, he's always been like, when I was growing up, he was always like, Black Panther is an Avenger, or he's like friends of the Avengers, or he just shows up when you need him, and then here he is hanging out with so-and-so, and it's like, yeah, he's cool, but, and he had his own series in the 70s and stuff and debut, but he wasn't much bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel took him and he's bigger than life. I mean, it's, the fucking Black Panther. You can't,
he's awesome.
They put an excellent movie out. And we can't, it's hard to understand why DC can't just do that with like any character, because you get the right people to do them. Like, you could do a great Guy Gardner movie, I'm certain.
Sure. I'm sure you could. That's the thing, is I feel like there's so many great characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're hurting for them.
No.
You're not hurting for characters on the DC side. You've got a shit ton of them. You've got some great rogues. Let's make a great movie and just, I mean, you have all this history with a bunch of really great stories.
Right.
That you could always adapt. And they're just like, no, Dark Jesus, angsty Punch Man.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
What was it? We're constantly rebooting Superman. We're rebooting Batman. We're rebooting this. We're just dredging on with this. I mean, I can't believe we're actually getting an Aquaman movie.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes.
And I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because it does look like a good spectacle.
Is it coming out in November or December?
December.
I
think it's December.
Okay.
But it does not. I don't know. There's some things about it that
Mara.
Yeah, Amber Heard's not a good. I don't know. I'm not.
And
great.
that wig. That wig is like, I have a Halloween wig that looks like that.
I was gonna say, is that one of those shake and bake wigs?
It's a shake and go wig. That thing is garbage.
Shake and bake.
That is like Eva Marie shaved her head, threw it on the ground, and then like ran it over with a car. It's bad. I'm like, come on, you guys. You have billions of dollars at your disposal. Get a good wig.
Or just make the actress. Maybe she dyed her hair? Probably not.
Oh no, that's a wig. Get a good wig person.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The what's her name? RuPaul's Drag Race won a bunch of Emmys.
Right. Oh yeah, her wig person won.
Her wig person, whose real name, I can't remember his last name, Gabriel
Wig
something, but is a drag queen by the name of Delta Work, and who was on like season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and she's fantastic, and she does Ru's wigs, and they look great.
And if you've seen RuPaul,
she won a fucking Emmy for them.
She looks fucking amazing.
Get her to do a wig.
Throw tons of money at this drag queen.
And do a wig. Like, you can find a person. Oh my God, you can find a person.
Or just get, if you want something, if you just need something, get the guy that did Key and Peele.
Oh my God, so many good wigs in Key and Peele.
I was gonna say, they were good wigs, but they're also like wigs of convenience.
I
because
know,
there's
but
so
you know
many
what?
fucking characters on that show. They're just like,
But they were also amazing.
But they were, yeah. I mean,
so many good wigs.
They're that. I mean, so many wigs. You're talking about quantity.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, but yeah, get a good wig person, DC.
I mean, it can't hurt.
No, it can't hurt. I mean, especially when you got all the fucking money.
Well, that's the UK. What?
What happened?
I'm trying to see when Aquaman comes out.
December. Going
getting-
IMDb.
In IMDb. For some reason, I'm getting the release date in the UK, which is December 14th. So it is coming out here in the good old Merca, the 21st.
Of December?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Christmas.
This is a Christmas movie now.
Oh, man.
Do you think we'll see Jason Momoa in a Santa hat?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll just be like swimming and he's got like a Santa hat? Or like in that weird bubbly thing?
Oh, man. I hope there's like a fish with a Santa hat.
Oh, that'd be really exciting.
Let's get a bunch of, because you know, because it comes out at Christmas, it has to be a Christmas movie.
Well, we're going to put a Santa hat on our gargoyle.
Cambridge,
when the time comes.
That gargoyle is going to be repurposed.
Oh, so many times.
He's going to be celebrating many holidays, and I don't give a fuck.
Oh no.
That's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, Cambridge is a gargoyle for all seasons.
A gargoyle for all seasons.
Yes.
I like that. That sounds a good title for like an Elseworlds book.
I'm going to reboot Gargoyles. Oh, but I heard Jordan Peele is supposed to be directing a Gargoyles movie.
He's doing everything.
Which, holy fuck, would I be so excited for?
Like a live action or a cartoon?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But based on the Gargoyles property.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is
he can do whatever he wants. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
He's pretty. He's a busy guy.
And I fucking love Gargoyles. When I was a kid, oh my god.
Yeah, I never got into Gargoyles, but I know, but I can understand why that was your jam.
Yeah, it was totally my jam.
Yeah,
absolutely my jam.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's pretty
and
cool.
I'm just like, I would take that. Somebody give me that movie. I'd actually love it if it was animated.
Or you could do live action, just big, but I mean, I think in his hands, it'll be pretty good.
I know, but I really like my animated Gargoyles.
Well, maybe they'll do a reboot.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, they did reboot DuckTales.
Yeah.
Which I don't watch.
I haven't watched that.
We don't have Disney. We don't have cable.
I'm also 38 years old. I don't need to watch DuckTales.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to be watching DuckTales. I'll watch other things that are beneath my age.
I'm gonna draw the line at DuckTales.
Well, that's the thing. There's people are like, just like, oh my god, DuckTales, and I'm like, yeah.
You know what? That one I'm too old for. I loved it when I was a kid.
Sometimes you could just be too old for it. The only thing I remember about
I'm okay with it.
The only thing I I vividly remember about DuckTales. This is another one of Sean remembers things.
Oh yay, Sean remembers things.
This is
my favorite podcast.
There's an episode of DuckTales where Launchpad McQuack is out with. He's whatever. There's a bunch of them out. But Launchpad's out there, and somebody throws a net at them, and he goes, a net, and I don't mean Funicello. Oh, and that's all I remember about DuckTales.
See, I would like DuckTales. It was fine, but I loved Tailspin.
See, I never got into Tailspin or Darkwing Duck. Those weren't really my jams.
I didn't watch Darkwing Duck, but I like if they were like, "Hey, here's a rebooted Tailspin," or "Here's just where you can find all the episodes of Tailspin," I'd be like, "Time to watch all of them."
Where can you find that shit?
I'm sure it must be on YouTube, but I don't want it to be like backwards and like slow or, you know what I mean?
It just sped up. It's like 5 minutes. It's like Tailspin.
But that's exactly what they do to like avoid copyright. And sometimes it's like inverted. Like what movie did we try to watch? We tried to watch
Trick or Treat. I think it was the Trick or Treat movie.
And it was on YouTube.
But the one from 1986.
Yeah, but we tried to watch it on YouTube, and it was like backwards.
It was fun. It was
too fucked up. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, there's something off about it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just like, I don't really want to watch Tailspin when somebody's like trying to avoid getting hit by copyright.
I remember the one time years ago when somebody there was a DVD for CM Punk, which I own, that WWE put out, and it was like somebody put it up online, but they just sped through it. People were pissed.
Well, that's so people can't fucking get hit by copyright, but it's also like, dude.
Can you not?
No,
I mean,
because it's like there's a software detector thing and you can kind of fool it. That's why people do shit like that. Trying to fool the software.
Well, then what's the point, though?
No.
It's like, I really enjoyed that 10-minute documentary.
Everybody's going so fast.
Everybody's going so fast, and couldn't.
CM Punk sounds like
I don't even think you get to hear the thing. It's just like, blah, 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 or you don't even get to hear anything. You just see it.
Sometimes they slow it down. It's like, oh no, run away. I don't know what movie that's from.
Oh, man. That is from the CM Punk documentary.
Is that from the CM Punk documentary?
Yeah, he was like running away from Vince McMahon for some reason. There was a scene where he was just backstage. He's like, run away from Vince McMahon. And Vince just like, ah!
Run away from Vince McMahon. Like that?
Yep. He's gonna puke.
I'd love to see Vince run slow.
I'd like to see Vince run in general. The man tore both quads jumping into the ring.
I was gonna say, is he gonna tear his quads and just sit in the ring?
He would. I like to see. Here's what I want to see.
Oh my god!
Here's what Sean Barrett.
That's just such a weird thing, like, because you know what happens now. You know what happens.
Yeah.
But when you watch that footage, it just looks like a dude jumping in the ring and just sitting there for no reason.
Yeah. He kayfabes it pretty well. He just kind of sits there and he doesn't look like he's uncomfortable. He's just like, I'm just gonna sit. I'm just talking to you referees because nobody. I mean, and the referees handle it well. You know what I'm saying? Nothing can go wrong up there. That's how it is. I heard, like Henry Rollins says, nothing can go wrong up here.
It's just kind of like, well, why aren't you getting up? All right, whatever, weird guy.
Tore his fucking quads, man.
Both of them.
Both of his quads.
That's funny.
If you could go back, 2005 Royal Rumble, go back and if you want to just look up Vince tears quads, and you'll know what we're talking about. It is quite interesting. Well, you know what? Let's take our break because we got other stuff to talk about. We'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
Let's take our break and we'll come back. We'll talk about our book for this week.
Have you ever wanted to be more than you are? Are you worried your full potential isn't enough? Ever wonder finding that out is worth your soul? Best Event Ever is back for 2018 with DC's 1995 event, Underworld Unleashed. Several blogs and podcasts are coming together to examine the effects these questions have on the heroes and villains of the DC universe. Join Justice's First Dawn, comic reviews by Walt, Chris and Reggie's Cosmic Treadmill, Pop Culture Palace, Diana Prince Wonder Woman, and Between the Pages, among others, as they examine the effects these questions have on characters like Ted Knight, Blue Devil, Sentinel, the Martian Manhunter, and Darkseid. Follow them all using hashtag BestEventEver2018 and hashtag Underworld Re-Unleashed across social media, all throughout October. Go ahead. Blow out that candle. Neron is waiting.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Journey into Mystery, number 12.
Spooky.
Yes, I should mention, real quick, this month is going to be a special month.
And why is that?
Because it's October.
Yay! Jen's favorite month.
And I think in order to run with the theme of the Halloween and the spookiness, we will do Halloween or just spooky books or just stuff in that vein.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited.
We have I've already picked out the books.
Yay.
Because the thing is that we usually have a lot of books in our collection that are just like, we'll do this for Halloween or something.
And then we never get around to it.
And then we never really get around to it when it's Halloween. I mean, we did think like Doorway to Nightmare at one year.
I think we did, yeah.
We done. There was that one. Was it the thing with the ghost girl and Dick Grayson?
Oh, that's right. It was a Teen Titans.
Tales of Teen Titans. We've done a few of those things. So I think that doing more, for a whole month is the way to go. Yeah. And I've already picked out the books, and Jen's gonna be very happy about one of them.
I'm happy about all of them.
I know you're happy about all of them, but there's one that we haven't gotten. I didn't tell you I picked it yet, but
oh man,
you're gonna be very excited. because we've never. I don't even know if you've even read them.
Okay.
So,
well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Most of them, if they're spooky, I bought them.
Well, no, it's definitely something
like
you
the
bought.
One I bought today, then I probably read it.
I don't know if you did. Well, you probably did.
That's the thing. I would go through my stack. So, like the book we're going to read today, I bought.
Yes.
And I've already read. Yes. But I didn't remember it when I went to read it again.
Well, it was a long time ago when we bought it. It's probably we've had it for a year or so.
Yeah.
A couple of years. But yeah, so we'll do a Halloween book or do spooky books, so you guys can look forward to that. A month of that. So very cool. Journey into Mystery number 12 from August 1974. So the deal with this Journey into Mystery, it's not the same series that used to have Thor and stuff like that, where Thor debuted and all that. It's a different series that came out in the 70s that basically was just reprints of horror stories from all the old Marvel and Atlas comics, horror magazines or books from the from the back of those. Because the 70s were full of them. And there's plenty. There's a few that we do have. We could do like 2 months of Halloween stuff with the stuff that we have. But this is one that that I saw and I was like, you know what, we should do this because there's just a collection of stories in here and it's pretty fun. So, Journey into Mystery number 12 from August 1974. Our cover is falling off, so we had to tape it. But on the cover, it says "The Kiss of the Undead," and on the cover we have a host of the Hollywood Squares, John Davison, sitting here at a table with a candle.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look, there's Cambridge.
I was going to say Cambridge is on this cover.
Cambridge is right there. And he's saying, listen to this, honey. This old book claims that this house is haunted by a vampire. Who are they trying to kid? And he's sitting there not looking, he's looking down at the book, but behind him, there's a lady vampire with
some
claws.
perky tits.
Yeah. She's, reaching out towards him, and she's got like his girlfriend.
Yeah, and she's passed out, and she's holding on to her. And
she's even bitter because you can see the neck.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Who you trying to kid?"
And there's the open window, and then there's lightning.
Yeah,
but it also looks like they're in the city because that looks like a skyscraper.
Ooh,
which is weird.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that touch where they're just like, this house.
Yeah, this random house. Oh, but and by the way, the guy here doesn't look anything like the guy on the cover.
I don't think that. Yeah, I think that's
the
intentional.
vampire doesn't look anything like.
I think to sell books, they're like, hey, here's some 70s kids. Why don't you guys get because the actual protagonist of this story,
old dude,
is just a fucking
with a mustache,
just a fucking
kind of a Tom Selleck mustache.
Kind of a Tom Selleck motherfucker.
Yeah,
kind of like schlumpy Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Kind of like loser Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah. This is Tom Selleck's cousin. Not even brother. Cousin. Maybe second cousin.
Norm Selleck.
Yes, this is Norm Selleck.
Norm Selleck. So, Kiss of Death is the first story, originally presented in Weird Worlds number 16.
Yeah.
So, go find that if you want the original one of this.
So, this dude is a writer.
Mm-hmm.
He is sitting at a typewriter. And there's like all sorts of like demons and stuff like hanging around his head because he writes these stories, these like weird horror stories.
Well, he writes weird horror stories, but here are some of the books he's written.
Yes, because he's got some of them on his wall.
Because you can see here, you can see some of these things, and he's having writer's block, and he's like, I gotta finish this book, but I'll go mad, and you see some of those books he has. We have Ghoul's Gold. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wife of the Werewolf.
I'd read that.
Barnaby's Bones.
I'd probably read that.
Which the cover is just a skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
And my favorite, Zombie Zoo.
Oh, I would totally read Zombie Zoo. I was actually hoping, because Sean was like, did you see these? When we talked about this earlier. He's like, oh, did you see the titles? And I was like, no. Was one of them called Creepy Butts?
Yep.
Which is something I would 100% read.
Yeah, you would definitely read that too.
If I saw something called Creepy Butts, I'd be like, I'm going to read this. So he is having writer's block, which shit, that happens. And so his wife comes up and she's like, hey, he's like, I can't write. It's stuck. And she's like, oh, honey, it's okay. But, we've got a doctor downstairs. He's here for your insurance policy.
Yeah.
So come on downstairs talk to the doctor. And he's like, oh, I love you. And he kisses her. And she's like, I hate it when he kisses me.
Yeah.
No, I hate it because I married a writer thinking we'd be rich. And I'm like, well, there is your mistake.
Well, he did write Zombie Zoo.
He did write Zombie Zoo.
He was probably like on tour for Zombie Zoo, signing books, and she's like, what a hunk, man. I bet his next book is going to be the best. And
we're going to have so much money. But instead, it is a hand-to-mouth existence. And you're like, you married a writer.
Yeah.
That happens.
He probably wrote
most of us are starving.
He probably wrote Dracula's
dick. Oh no, Dracula's dog. No. Dracula's dog.
He wrote something pretty bad. He probably wrote Dracula's pharmacist. and it didn't sell as well. I was like, how come Dracula's pharmacist?
Wouldn't that be Phantom Pharmacist?
Ooh, Phantom Pharmacist.
Because he's really leaning into the alliteration.
I like Phantom Pharmacist. Yeah, it did not do well.
I would read the Phantom Pharmacist
because it's just an actual pharmacist that's a ghost, and
all he's trying to do is fill pills,
and they keep falling through his hands because he's a phantom, and everybody's just like, there must be a Phantom Pharmacist in here. I can't come to this pharmacy anymore. It's haunted.
And then it closes down.
And it just closes down. Nobody goes into it.
He's like, but all I wanted to do was help people by providing them their prescriptions.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, poor Phantom Pharmacist.
Poor Phantom Pharmacist did not. Yeah, that was.
What do you think Bartleby's Bones is about? It's just like a guy who's like, my bones.
Just Bartleby walking. Here's it is for Buffalo people. Former Buffalo Sabres hockey notable Matthew Bartleby. It's his bones.
And he just walks around going, my bones.
He's walking around like, ow, my bones hurt from hockey.
Ow, my bones. And that's just all it is.
It's just him. It's like, so it's 206 pages. And it's for every bone. And every bone he talks about, it's like, ow.
It's like my metatarsal.
My metatarsal really aches today. It was from that time I played hockey. Mm-hmm. And then I went, and he just runs out of things to say. He's like, oh, what else did I do today?
Do you think it could have been that guy? What was that guy's name? One of the Bengals got his foot turned the wrong way today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gross. He could also be yelling, my bones.
Yeah. Well, what his name was Bartleby.
I do.
What's his name? Bartleby?
Sure. Yes.
This book cursed him. Poor guy. Yeah, but so she's like, ew, this guy sucks.
Ew, this guy sucks because he's not making money, but you should have known better, you stupid dumbass. But
so the doctor...
They go downstairs.
I want to say their house is rife with gargoyles.
Oh my god, there's skulls. Skulls.
This is actually kind of like the house that I imagine we would live in if we had more money and it was like a gothic house.
Oh yeah.
And it would just be like a fucking just gargoyles and...
Yeah,
witches.
What's weird about that is I love that shit, but I also don't want to look at it all the time.
That's true.
For Halloween, yes.
Yeah. For instance, look at our adorable...
I bought a candle holder. Well, it's a lantern, a pumpkin. Kind of a pumpkin mummy.
It is a pumpkin mummy.
It's a pumpkin mummy, and I got it at Yankee Candle, and it's fucking awesome, and I love it.
Yeah, I like it. So I can look at that, but I don't want to look at these fucking gargoyles all over the place.
Yeah, no, we got one.
Or skulls. He just has a skull. Doesn't inspire him. He's like, skull!
Yeah, no.
Oh, skull.
I would just have a mood board.
Look at this
I told you, it's just some old creep, coming out of a wall.
I'll be honest, this woman isn't really, she kind of has a...
She's got a point. This guy sucks.
This guy sucks. Spending his money on weird masks and shit. I was
going to say, man, you could have, not bought that. So he goes downstairs and the doctor's get naked in this living room. And so...
Because apparently doctors come to check you for insurance?
I think they used to. I don't know. I don't think they do that anymore for life insurance.
Yeah, clearly because
I think that used to be a thing. But
this is from the 50s, so...
Yeah, that used to be a thing. I don't think it's a thing anymore. So the guy's like, well... because he's going to get... Right now he has $16,000 worth of life insurance.
Uh-huh.
Back in the 50s, that was
a lot of
$50,000 worth of life insurance. Now it's I don't even think they sell that policy anymore. And then... So
Can I get $5 insurance, please?
He's like, I'm going to get an extra... He even says here, he's like...
He's getting an extra 10.
No. The way he says it is weird. He's like...
Yeah, there's a lot of math going on here.
No, it's bizarre. He's like, okay, let's go see the doctor now and get that new insurance policy. Let's see. I have $16,000 now. This 10 will make it $26,000. Yes, that is 100% accurate.
That is true. 10 plus 16 is 26.
Ooh. So he's going to get a $10,000 life insurance policy, and the doctor's like, yeah, you're not going to get that because your heart's going to explode.
Yeah, your heart sucks, dude.
So you have a shit heart, and I hope you're ready to die. Bye. And then he leaves. And that's
I hope you're, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Don't worry, you have $16,000. And he leaves, and he's like, yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. And the wife's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? He's like, oh, I didn't want to worry you, dear. And she's like, man, now I have to kill you.
Yeah. Basically, she's like, sucks ass, and I gotta think of something to do.
She's like, now I'm gonna have to take care of him. What am I gonna do? But $16,000 could give me a good start. So I have an idea. I'm gonna figure out how to kill this man.
I do like this panel here where she's thinking about what she's gonna do. About how this guy sucks, and she's like, looks like she's on fire.
Yeah,
because she's smoking a cigarette. She's smoking a cigarette, but there's just this giant plume of smoke coming out of her head, like she's fucking Firestorm or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he's like, she's like, okay, I got an idea, and she goes and tells Norm Selleck.
Well, this is like a week later. She figures out what to do.
A week later, she's like, hey, Norm Selleck, I got a house in the Catskills that's pretty creepy, and apparently vampires used to live there. We should go rent it.
So you can get inspiration.
And do your work.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's like, oh man, you think of everything. And he tries to kiss her, and she's like, eh.
He tries to kiss her in like
all the time.
All the time. He's just like, I love your kiss. Because it's called the kiss of death.
Right.
But, we're going in on the kiss stuff.
Yeah. So they pull up to this. I mean, I don't really know how this is helpful considering he has skulls all over his fucking house.
Right? Right?
I know.
He's got a creepy ass fucking house.
I'm like, you already have a creepy house.
He lives in Halloween Town.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna leave my creepy
in the actual
house.
Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Like you go to Halloween Town.
He's like, I'm gonna leave my creepy house and go to another creepy house. I'm like, how does that help?
But there's no skulls in here.
I know. He had more skulls in the other place. So they go and they're like, wow, this house is creepy. And she's like, well, I had somebody clean up a little bit, but the rest of it I left alone
because ambiance.
Yeah, and he's like, cool. Well, you make dinner. I'm going to wander around, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Bro, he's like, no, he gets in. He says, I'm tired because...
No, he says, I'm going to wander around. You go make dinner.
He does? I thought he says, like,
yeah.
well, it's a minor point.
Yeah.
But,
So he does that, and she's, like, tucking him in because I guess, it's the 50s. Nobody sleeps in the same bed.
She hates him. She's not sleeping with him.
So...
These people have never fucked.
No. And so he's like, okay, well, good night. And she's like, okay, time to enact my plan. I'm going to get this theater makeup and dress myself up like a vampire.
And her version of vampire is
blue.
Is a blue face.
It's a Smurf.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Smurf.
She looks like Smurfette.
She does.
She's like Smurfette in a purple dress.
Hair. Yeah, it's Smurfette, and all she did was put, like, long things on her fingers.
Yeah.
So she's like, boo, it's me. And
boo, it's me, a vampire. I'm here to scare the shit out of you.
And he's like, Lydia, knock it off.
He's like, yeah, he's kind of like, nah, man.
No, and he's like, go to bed. You're done.
Us Sellecks don't scare that easily.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, god damn it didn't work. So she leaves. And that's when a real blue vampire comes out of nowhere. And he's like, Lydia, just go to bed. And she's like, I bite your neck. Chomp.
Yeah. She bites his neck, and then he gets up in the morning, and he's like, you know what? I feel great.
I feel so good. Oh, shit. I've never felt so good.
I felt good. I had a great sleep.
I feel invigorated. I look good.
Yeah. And he's looking at his neck, and he's like, well, there's holes in my neck. But, that just gives me thinking of shit because I'm trying to write zombie. I'm trying to write the Mummy's Cadillac. So, Mummy Cadillac dealership. I'm trying to write that.
It has to start with an M.
The Mummy.
Yeah, the
Mummy's
motorcade.
Mummy's motorcade. Yes, the Mummy's motorcade is very important that gets done. But I feel great. And because I got these holes on my neck, and he goes downstairs, and his wife's like, God damn it, he looks
great.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he looks stronger. He looks like, even though he's got Polly Walnut's wings in his hair, he looks like Mr. Belvedere. He looks great.
Looking good. So she's like, all right. Well, how am I going to kill this motherfucker?
Yeah.
So she's like, well, I'm just going to try my stupid vampire thing again. I'm going to dress up like Smurfette. Maybe it'll work this time.
Yeah.
Which, okay, it didn't work last time, but all right. So she does it again.
And as that's happening, then the previous creepy vampire lady shows up, and she's like, shit, John, these vampires are real. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, I got bit last night.
And I feel great.
And now I could finally finish the Larry the Locust. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I ruined it. I've ruined this guy's career.
You did. Good job.
So he's like, well, I could, you know what? I knew this was great, because these vampires are dope. And, she's like, yeah, she came after you were doing your thing, and she bit me, and I feel great.
Because I'm a vampire now.
And so then he turns into a vampire, and he kind of is like, and then he's like, you know what? I love kissing you, and you love kissing me, and our last kiss is going to be the kiss of death. And so he bites her.
The end.
And that's how it ends. And, that's how this guy, he goes on to write,
Vampire's Vacation.
Vampire Vacation.
Yep.
He wrote Vampire Weekend.
What, the entire band?
The band, yeah. It's really about
wrote
the band.
them.
He created them. The Vampire Weekend, the band, is a figment of this guy's imagination.
Oh, man.
So as long as this story exists, Vampire Weekend will continue to exist.
Oh, my God. What happens if the story goes away?
For some reason, if somebody burns all these copies, then the members of Vampire Weekend will fade away.
Maybe that's okay.
Because this guy went on to write Vampire Weekend because he had a Vampire Weekend.
He did.
Literally a Vampire Weekend.
Yeah. I'm assuming
it's a weekend. Let's assume they got there on Friday.
Weekend, yeah.
Yeah, they went on a weekend. He's like,
getaway.
It's Vampire Getaway.
That'd be Ghouls Getaway.
Ghouls, yeah. Or the Gill Monster.
Gill Monster?
What am I thinking of? The Creature in the Black Lagoon.
Oh.
Well, what about Frankenstein? What would be his Frankenstein book?
Frankenstein's Folly.
No, it had to be something where he could do like Frankenstein's
Ford. It's about a truck.
Frankenstein. It's just Frankenstein wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah, he's got truck nuts on his fucking car.
But they're actual nuts because he's a monster.
He was like, there were extras. I just tied him to the back.
Frankenstein's Ford. Oh man, why are we not writing these books? These are great books.
We should bring these back.
Bringing it back. So that's it for this story. Now we're on to another story here. This one is called "The Genie Lives," and it lives. And if you notice, it's written by Stan Lee, art by Steve Ditko, R.I.P.
Yeah, I read this book and I didn't remember this at all. And I was like, "What?" So there's a kid. He's hanging out with his friends. He's at a book sale.
He's at so it's specifically an old book sale.
Yeah. And his friends are like, why are you here? Old books are dumb. Reading is stupid.
Yeah, and there's just it's just literally like one giant table with books.
Yeah.
And he's looking through them and the kids are like, he's like, books suck.
Yeah, you're stupid. Why are you reading?
Why are you reading? And he's like, well, I found this book and I think it's like an ancient thing about genies.
Yeah, and he's like, oh man, I'm going to invoke the spell that's in here, because that's what you do.
Yeah. When you get a book of spells, read them aloud immediately.
You have to. I mean, like, literally before you even leave the bookshop.
Literally read all of them. Just sit there and just shout and just wait for something to happen. Yeah,
and be like, well, nothing worked on that one. Next.
I will be doing that at the local Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. I will go to the occult section. Occult section.
Yeah.
And I will just be reading aloud all the spells. I don't have any, skin in the game.
Well, just see if they work.
And then somebody comes over and they say, hey, excuse me, can you keep it down? I'm like, yeah. It's like, how am I supposed to get these to work?
Right. How am I supposed to
you could get the book and just read them out in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
I don't want to do that. It's cold out.
Yeah, it is. So this guy, the genie appears. He is slightly racist.
What's a genie?
Yeah.
It's a genie. How's he going to draw a genie?
He also looks like he's wearing a big purple diaper.
Yes, he is.
And really bad shoes. Just bad.
He's a genie.
I know. He's like, hello, I am a giant genie. And he's huge.
Stan Lee wrote this. He didn't know.
It's the 50s. So this is like, he's like 20 feet tall. And these kids are like, oh my God. And there's no stipulation of like, you only get 3 wishes. So this guy's like, oh my God, bring us lots of money. And the genie like puts his hand down, and the money comes out of his palm, but it really just looks like he has like a fungus growing on his hand.
It is pretty gross.
It's really gross. And he's like,
he just drops like, I think looks like $50 like in singles on this kid.
Yeah. He's making it rain at the club, basically.
He's making it rain, but it's fungal.
Yeah, it's fungal.
It's kind of gross. It's pretty gross looking. And the whole time, the genie's like, "Yo, why don't we like do something cool?"
Yeah, because the kid's like, "Money, make me fly," and the genie's like, "I'm fucking bored, dude. This sucks." And he's like, "You know what? Make everything else disappear." And and everything disappears.
This fucking psycho kid.
And he's like, "Oh no, that's not what I meant. Oh shit, because there's literally nothing." He's like, "Fine. How about you fly me around the world in space?" And he's like, "Okay."
I kind of wish they would have went in space and the kid suffocated and he just died.
Yeah, and then
because the genie's like, "You wanted to fly in space, but I didn't. You didn't say
you were
make
not
me
specific.
Make me space proof."
Yeah, you gotta be specific.
You gotta be specific because I don't know these things. I don't know what is space. How do I know how does this genie know what space is?
Genie knows everything.
Oh.
And then he's like, "All right, Genie, I'm gonna be a giant. I'm gonna be just a huge.
Make me into Paul White."
Except he makes him like 100 feet tall.
Because the giant is like, the genie is like huge.
Genie's already like 20 feet tall. And he makes him way bigger than the genie. And he's like, "Oh shit." And then he's like, "I wish everything else was gone except for Earth."
Well, he wants to be the biggest living thing anywhere there is anywhere.
Yeah, so he's like, "I only want Earth to exist," which then the sun is like, everything's gone. It's the sun, the other planets, space, and then of course the Earth starts ripping itself apart. And spinning off into wherever, and then he keeps getting bigger.
He keeps getting bigger to the point where he is standing.
It looks like his. I can't even explain.
His feet, his calves are so long because they're like on the planet, but his body is just even bigger.
Yeah,
he kind of looks like Bender as a human.
He does actually, and he fucks up just as badly because he's like. His eyes look like they're bulging out of his skull in this one panel.
Yeah, because he's in space. There's no air in the. There's no air in the. There's no air. There's nothing.
There's no nothing. And he's like, "Damn it, Genie, you suck. I wish everything was back to the way it was before I ever met you." And Genie's like, "All right," and he snaps his fingers, and the kid's right back at the fucking book sale with his friends, being like, "Shut up, man! I'm gonna find a cool book." So we know it's just gonna start over.
I hope it keeps going over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
That's how it is.
Yep.
It is. That is all Stanley has.
That's
to
it.
offer us.
That's it.
So
then our next story is called The Question.
No, it's The Question.
Yes, and it's not The Question,
which is a bummer. I wish he would have showed up in this.
Also, wrong universe.
I know, but still, he could show up.
Still, it would have been great. So basically,
here.
It's about a guy who invented the internet. That's what this is. Because so it's this like schlubby schlub who has a wife. He's like, "Man, I love my wife. I love buying my wife things.
I love my wife, and
I love giving my wife things." Basically, it's just like I love giving the object that I own more stuff.
And I love that she's my wife, and I'm extremely lucky because she's pretty, and he looks like a fucking
like George Costanza if he got like beaten.
but also he's wearing his bad wig.
Yeah.
So it's when George got the bad rug, and then he got beaten with a bunch of paddles. Mm-hmm. He got beaten with a bunch of wiffle ball bats. And then and then he grew older, and then he became science. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to him because he did get better.
So he works for a science laboratory that I guess works with the U.S. government.
Oh yeah.
And they created this giant machine called the brain. So basically, it's a machine where you put a question into it and it knows the answer. So this guy created Google.
Well, let's explain what this brain looks like. So it basically just looks like a bunch of garbage on top of in a bubble.
Yeah.
On top of a column that says the brain on it.
This is what Google really looks like.
When you break it down, yeah.
If you go to Google's campus,
if you get really far into Google,
you go in their
Google
basement, in their basement,
you'll find this.
This is just hanging out there.
Yeah.
And that's what powers when you type in boobs.
Types you boobs and it goes find boobs.
Located boobs, and it gives you boobs.
Well, apparently this machine knows everything.
Yes,
it's the internet. You can ask it a question, and it will answer you, and it can predict up to a certain amount of time,
24 hours in the future.
So not only is it it's filled with information, but it is also clairvoyant.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either, and it shouldn't work that way, but apparently it does.
Yeah. So this guy's at work. Everybody's smoking because it's the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And some guy comes in. He's like, "Hey, can I ask he's like somebody from the government."
He's from the Weather Bureau.
Oh, the Weather Bureau?
Weather Bureau.
Oh, so he wants to. So basically, there's no this is Doppler radar as well. So he wants.
We don't have the Weather Channel yet, so he's basically like, "Look, can I ask this thing?
Hey, there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming from the one coast. I need to know when it's going to get here, or I need to know storms.
We need to know how bad it's going to be." So he's like, "Oh, by the way, can I ask it a personal question?" The guy's like, "No, you can only ask it's too important to ask it personal questions. By the way, you tell us your question because you can ask it verbally, but it's better if we type it. So basically, it's like your phone. Like Siri kind of gives you the right answer, but it's better if you search it through a search engine. So it's basically that." And so he's like, "Hey, what about the storm?" He's like, "Oh man, it's gonna come." And he's like, "Cool, thanks." So he leaves.
The storm will move along the coast, sweeping from inland.
Yeah. This is my favorite part of it because he's like, there's another guy there. He's like, "Well, I gotta go, bro. But can you stay here until 1:00 or something?" He's like, "Yeah, what happened to Bill?" And he's like, "Oh, well, his wife died. Anyway, so I'll see you later. Bye."
Yeah, literally, this guy goes.
And he just it's like a nothing event.
Well, he's like, "Yeah, his wife suddenly died. I gotta go. Goodbye. I gotta check on my wife. Maybe she didn't die."
Oh man.
Yeah, this poor guy. His wife just all of a sudden just was like, "Ah."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh man, what happened to him?" He's like, wife died. Anyway, I gotta go get pizza. Bye.
I gotta go pick up some pineapples.
Yeah, he just so does not care about this poor man. And so then George Costanza starts thinking "Oh shit, what if my wife died?" And he's like, then he starts imagining her dead in all sorts of positions. He's like, "No, that's all right. I created the brain. I can ask the brain a question."
Well, okay, hang on for a second. He says, "Well, first of all, I want to point out, I do so he's thinking about her being dead, and he's just there's a bunch of skulls and eyes and mouths.
And her being dead.
And then there's her just one where she's just decaying, but she's got earrings on.
That's fucked up.
That's kind of fucked up. I don't like that one. Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of red nose. Just no.
So he's, but he's like, "Wait a minute. What if I die? I don't have a will. She'll be screwed." This guy. This poor guy.
He's just like, "Oh my God, how will my object continue to be an object if I'm not around?" And so he's like, "Fine. Hey,
who will sleep in my second bed?"
Yeah.
It's the 50s. We don't want to sleep in the same bed.
"Who will make me dinner and have no thoughts of her own? Oh no." So he's like, "Hey, brain. So wife, death."
He goes, "Okay, look, his plan is..."
So his plan is to ask this question. If it doesn't answer it, that means she's not going to die within the next 24 hours. But does he have to continue asking the question every day?
True, yeah.
Right?
Well, he wants to know... because since he's worried about his will, he's like, "I'll ask her two questions. First of all, when will my wife die?"
His mistake asking them at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Because as we see, that is a problem. And he doesn't wait for the other answer.
He goes, "When will my wife die? And secondly, when will I die?" And then it's like, "Okay, well, I'll wait here." And then the brain's like, "Yo, your wife's going to die in 10 minutes and shit."
Yeah, 10 minutes to midnight. He's like, "Oh my God, that's today. And if I run home, it says she's going to be murdered."
Yeah, it says he'll be murdered.
And he's like, "Oh my God, I have to go save her. So let me just grab this gun I have hanging out at my office."
Yeah, that's the 50s,
run down the street.
All they had were guns and cigarettes back then.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And so he runs to the house and he kicks open the door and he finds that she's kissing on some dude.
Yeah, but they're also plotting his death.
Yeah, they're like, "We're gonna poison this guy."
Because this guy's she's like, "Oh, I love you, but what about Paul? George Costanza?" And he's like, "Yo, I've got some arsenic, so we're gonna kill him."
Yeah, R.I.P. that guy.
And he's like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, George Costanza's like, "I don't blame my dumb wife."
Yeah,
because obviously she has no thoughts of her own and would never have acted.
He's like, "I will forgive you, wife, but I will kill this man."
Yeah, she has no thoughts of her own. Obviously, you tricked her, so I'm going to shoot you. And the other guy,
this guy sucks at shooting.
Oh my God!
Because here's what he is. So he's standing far enough away from her.
Yeah.
From them to basically just fire off a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
But somehow...
the other guy crosses the entire room.
The other guy just runs across the room, just punches him in his stomach.
Right, which makes him shoot, and he shoots his wife.
Uh-huh.
Shoots the wife dead. Then he shoots the other guy, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, he's like, oh my God, my wife is dead and I've killed her. And then we go back to the brain and he's like, and you will die at 2 minutes past murder, cause of suicide. So this guy kills himself. Yeah. And that's the end.
We don't see him kill himself, do we?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's just like, all right, well, my wife's dead and I was going to forgive her, but she's dead, so I guess I should be dead too. And the brain's like, ha, that's right.
Yeah.
You owe me a sandwich.
I can't eat it, but
bring it here.
Put it in front of me.
Just bring it here.
Just look at it.
There's just a bunch of sandwiches in front of it. I will bet you a sandwich I'm right. But you can't eat the sandwich. I know.
I like them though.
Can I still? Well, people are like, well, can I eat that sandwich? If you're not gonna eat it, it's like I want it there. Okay, let me ask the brain. Are you gonna eat that sandwich? No. Can I eat it? No. Now you just have a bunch of rotting sandwiches by you, brain.
Yep.
Do you enjoy this? Yes. It fuels my clairvoyance. These rotting capicola sandwiches.
Gross. It's very stinky in there.
It is very stinky in there.
It smells like rotting lunch meat. It's just disgusting.
But he likes it this way. This is how it works. This is what the government believes in: is rotting sandwiches.
Could you imagine, robots. Like, if you go into the Google building and it just reeks? You're like, my God, why does it reeks
of olive loaf?
Yeah, why does it smell so bad? It's just because there's so many rotting sandwiches by the stupid brain.
Because they're just betting this.
Like, this is what you want when you Google things.
Like, fucking, who's in charge of Google? Jeff Bezos?
That's something you should Google.
Oh, I can't ask the brain.
Yeah.
I owe him a sandwich.
No, Jeff Bezos is Amazon.
He probably goes in there sometimes, though, to be like, hey, Google, I got a question
I think they're mortal enemies.
He probably sneaks in there at night.
Gives it a sandwich.
He brings it. He brings it to Jersey Mike's.
It's like, make my search results the first one.
I used all my short points on this.
I don't want to pay my employees a fair wage.
Will my employees revolt? Yes.
Eventually. Will I be dead by then? No. Will I be able to escape to a different island? Yes. Okay, cool. Bye.
Will that island have a robot like you so I can ask questions? No.
Yeah. By the time the lowly citizens of this country revolt, will I be far away? Yes. Okay. Let's continue being evil.
What a sad ending for this robot. This robot deserves better.
It really does.
He deserves better. So that's that story. And now
this is the last one.
The last story.
It's called Hide and Shriek. And when I first read that, I honestly thought it said Hide and Shrek. I
thought so too.
And I was like, wow, this story's way ahead of its time, using the character Shrek.
He looked like Shrek.
So there's a dude, and he really likes playing.
Shrek.
Yeah, he looks like Shrek. He loves to play practical jokes on people.
Yeah, this guy's a dip.
And he's one of those people who's like, he thinks it's really funny when other people are upset. He is the worst kind of person.
Yep.
Because those jokes aren't they're not jokes.
Ass.
They're not funny. It's just bullshit. So
he's the kind of guy that, like...
Is this his wife?
Oh, he's just a dude.
No, it's like, is that his wife?
No.
Okay.
I think he's just a...
but it's somebody who knows him.
Yeah, it's just some chick
that he's like, yeah, dude, because they're at a party. Everybody's dressed up. There's some dude in a top hat in the back. There's a bunch of top hat dudes. Well, I don't know what the fuck's going on back here.
This is one of those parties.
Yeah, this is one of those, like... rich people parties. And
I didn't even take off his scarf.
Yeah.
Maybe is he taking off? No, I didn't know. It's okay. We're handing jackets off here.
Oh, okay.
So they haven't gotten to that. This guy didn't take his hat off.
No, fuck it.
What the fuck?
This is a rich people party. So everybody's there, and this woman's like, "Oh God, it's you. What's this guy's name? Fuckface."
Paul.
Fuckface.
No, George.
Fuckface. Hey, Fuckface, it's you. I'm so unhappy to see you because every time I see you, you pull a fucking prank on me, and it's not funny. And you make me feel like garbage, and I hate you. And he's like...
I hate when I go into your bathrooms because you put saran wrap on the toilets.
Yeah, and he's like, don't worry about it. I think I'm hilarious, because that's the type of person he is. So she's just standing there, And then like some dude dressed as a monkey jumps out from behind a curtain and tries to grab her. And then he's like, hey, everybody, this is so-and-so.
He's like, hey, it's a movie stuntman.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? And she's like, God damn it, I told you I fucking hate you.
I literally just got here.
Just literally got through telling you your jokes aren't funny. They're not jokes. Stop being stupid. And he's like, oh, well, whatever. And this other guy's like, yeah, man, your jokes really aren't funny. He's like, why don't you sit in this chair? So
he's like, yeah,
how about
he's
you
like,
just sit in this chair?
Why don't you just chill out? Here's a chair.
Yeah.
I would be like, if you're telling me to sit in the chair, I wouldn't sit
I'm not going to sit in this chair.
But you know what?
This dude's stupid. And he sits in this chair, and it has like a, I don't know, it just shoots into the sky.
It's like that Gremlins chair.
Yeah.
When the woman goes through the window, but sadly this guy does not go through a window.
No, and he like shoots up in the sky, and he's like, dude, that's not fucking funny. He's like, it's hilarious. And then it like dumps this guy.
I do kind of like that chair.
Yeah, well,
I kind of want that chair.
Yeah, but you knew it would be doing that. And then it like dumps this guy on the floor.
Why does he have this chair in general? Just for people to sit on and go, ah.
He's like, dude, you're not fucking funny. And he's like, you know what? Here's how not funny I am. I've hidden $50,000 in the rooms of this house. Anybody who finds it, it's yours. Haha, jokes. Go find it. And he's like, okay. So everybody goes to go find this money, and no one comes back.
Yeah.
And he's like, where is everybody? So he goes in the kitchen. Nobody's there. He's like, well, fine. They're trying to play a joke on me, so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my shit. I'm going to go to the bar. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you at this party anyway, dude, so you leaving...
Well, it's his house, though.
Yeah, but you know what? Him leaving is the best thing that could happen to this party.
It's true. I would, yeah.
So as he's about to leave, he finds that the door's closed and he can't get out. And then there's this voodoo priest who shows up.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, it's me, voodoo priest.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I remember you. He's like, hey, yeah, remember when you like came to visit me and you took like a sacred idol from my village and you hid it in the forest as a joke and no one could find it? And so you blamed me? And he's like, yeah.
Leela does not find this joke funny.
No.
She's been stomping on this joke.
He's like, so yeah, because it was sacred, you fucking asshole. I got exiled from my village. Nobody will fucking talk to me. My life is in shambles. So I'm going to get revenge on you.
So I found my way through the hate from Haiti to fuck with you.
Yeah, because fuck you.
Because that guy's awesome. This guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Because this guy's like vengeance.
Yeah, good for this guy.
I like this guy.
And he's like, well, you know what? I've got this gun in my coat because it's the 50s. Also, because why not? Because guns, also America. And I'm going to shoot you. So he like shoots this guy, but it's like a manifestation of this guy. So he's not actually there.
Because he's like, yo, voodoo, I fucking do that shit too. So.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to call the police. And I'm like, that's the whitest thing anybody in this comic book has said.
Shooting somebody, then calling the police?
You're going to teach me a lesson for some shit I've done? I'm calling the police.
So the voodoo priest is like, look, I'll tell you what. You can how about you find the people that are hiding in your house looking for all your stuff for this money.
And if you do that by midnight, you're fine. And if you don't, you're going to suffer a really horrible fate.
Yes.
And he's like, fine, fuck you. I'm going to find all these people. And he can't find anybody. So he tries to like break out of the house and it doesn't work. So the clock chimes midnight. And then I don't know what happens to him except he becomes foam.
Oh, does he fart to death?
I think he does.
Does he fart so hard all the gas sets him, consumes him?
Yes.
It consumes his being and it breaks down his organic matter?
Yes.
Yeah, because literally it just goes bong, bong, bong because of the midnight.
Yeah.
And then he just sees a bunch of gas. Yeah, actually, I think he gets like...
I think he farts to death. Either that or he gets like, encased in phloem.
Phloem?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what happens? He goes to one of those foam parties and he dies.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah.
It's just like a foam party in his living room?
Yeah, he goes to the foam party and
he's like, wait, this is not nearly as fun as I thought it was supposed to be?
Yeah, and I hate this being a foam party because I'm slipping on the floor and there's fucking beer bottles and shit.
Ew.
And this sucks. And then he's forever. And what happens is he goes into the eternal foam party in the sky.
Yeah.
And he just disappears.
Yeah.
And then a minute later, everybody comes out from the hiding spaces being like, yo, where's this guy? Where's the fuckface? And they're like, well, I've been looking for his money. I guess we all blacked out.
Yeah.
Because one guy's like, we made us all black out.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like I've been hypnotized.
Yeah.
He's like, well, now let's find that guy. But they never find him.
And that's how it ends.
That's it.
We're done.
It's the end of the book.
That's it. He's like, did you find him? Like, nope.
Nope, never found that guy.
Motherfucker's dead.
Nope, guy sucks. And no one missed him, the end.
Nobody liked him and nobody missed him.
Yep, pretty much.
He died as he lived. Covered in farts.
Yeah, pretty much. Alone at a foam party. Which, that sounds terrible.
That sounds like a great, like, EDM album. But if there's whoever is the Weird Al of EDM is putting out Alone at a Foam Party.
Can I petition Weird Al to put out Alone at a Foam Party?
Well, it has to do an EDM album.
Why not?
Here's my version of Darude's Sandstorm. It's called Handstorm. Hamstorm.
Hamstorm.
Hamstorm. It's like do ham. Fat Boy Slim, more like Fat Boy Fat.
Okay. Fat Boy Fat.
Slim Boy Fat.
Slim Boy Fat. There you go.
Fucking Weird Al. Weird Al killing it in the EDM. Alone at a Foam Party is actually the best title for a Weird Al EDM. If he goes that route, not that he needs to, because he's a lyrical genius.
Yes, no.
Although, I'm going to point out real quick. Do you remember, what was it? Out here they had like a Weird Al con?
Yes.
And Weird Al wasn't there?
Right. What is that?
But you just go, and I think
it was like $40, and I was
like $40 to walk around in a Hawaiian shirt and watch UHF.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, but if I'm going to go to a Weird Al convention, Weird Al better be there.
Weird Al has to be there.
He has to be given a commencement speech or something. I mean, I realize that dude doesn't have to. He has a star on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
You know? He was just in a Weezer video.
Yes, he was.
But, I mean, you can't tell me you're giving me Weird Al Con and not give me Weird Al. It's not a thing.
You need to give me, if you're not giving me Weird Al, you need to give me everything else that is as close to Weird Al as possible. So we need,
Weird Al impersonators?
No, we need, like, I'm trying to think of, actually, I can't even think what would be what's the most Weird Al Jason thing.
I don't know. Polka? He did do a polka album.
Right. Polka. You'd have to give
accordions.
But something that's like actually worth your time. So like,
Polka's
like the rest of the cast members of UHF except for Weird Al.
I don't even know who was in
Fran Drescher.
Okay.
I think she's in there. Michael Richards was in there.
Oh no,
yeah,
wants that.
Yeah, I know. So Weird Al Con sounds like a rough go.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm assuming everybody that went there had fun. I mean, so maybe somebody that listens to the show was like Weird Al Con was off the chain.
Yeah, maybe.
So
should have gone.
Yeah.
Should have spent that $40.
That's right.
To go watch UHF in a Sheraton ballroom.
Now here's my new album, Alone at a Foam Party. Do ham.
Do ham. Maybe you should release Alone at a Foam Party, babe.
Well, I could start my music parody, my parody career.
It's just a picture of you standing in the middle of a really sad looking foam party.
Just be in a bathtub covered in foam. Alone at a Foam Party.
Yeah.
Actually,
there's a disco ball.
Yeah, I put a disco ball in the bathtub. You have to get a lot of foam going, though.
What if you just had a little bit of foam? Then it'd be the worst foam party.
It would have to be like styrofoam.
I don't want to clean that out of the tub.
Oh, scratch that idea.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does. I don't want to do it.
All right. Canceled. My parody career is over.
No. Do that. Just don't put styrofoam in the bathtub. Do whatever else you want. I just don't want styrofoam in the bathtub.
Oh God. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean. That's me.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Mm-hmm. You can email us, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And, of course, please go on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you get this podcast and give us a rating. High ratings are great. 5 stars or just whatever positive. Leave a review. I'd like to see more reviews. That'd be really nice because we will read them on the air.
Sure. Tell us if you want to hear Alone at a Foam Party. So Sean can start his music career.
I need support. I need encouragement. All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.